All right, yes, we've been talking this week. If you've been following us very closely, we've been very focused on leadership in recent times, talking about the youth and the power to take over. That are we ready? Do we have the pedigree? Do we have the consciousness? Do we have the focus, dedication that it takes to become leaders? And this morning, we're very privileged to bring one of our very forthright youths. And this time, she's not just a youth, she's a young lady. And I'm so proud when I saw her posters online that she's vying for the local government council chairperson position in Surulere. I said, wow, this young lady has that kind of courage. Then we want to bring her into the studio to have a tete-a-tete with her and know where her mind is placed so that people that waiting for that local government council can really have a little better understanding or get to know her a little better. Please help us to welcome Olawunmi Oyedeji. Yes, before I give out your body. Olawunmi, you're very much
good to have you.
Thank you so much.
Now, just yesterday, we talked about youth participation in governance, and then we see like a young, beautiful lady being interested in politics. Now, if you see your profile, you're a political person and also a media person. First of all, I just want to know why the switch?
Oh, well, is it really a switch? It's something, politics is something I've always wanted to do. The issue I had was the right timing. Because right from when I graduated, I said, okay, somewhere along the line, I would go into politics. But then again, I graduated quite young, and so immediately I graduated, they said I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't old enough. So Michelle kept pushing until finally
what do you study? Let me just, what do you study? Because I just want to know, what do you study for school?
Chemical engineering.
Why not political science?
You get passion.
Because you say you get passion in politics.
You know, back then when I was in secondary school, when we were choosing classes, that is arts, commercial, and sciences, initially, sincerely, I was going to do arts, but then the crowd was too much. It was like everybody was just going to arts. I was like, okay, why do I have to follow the bandwagon? And then I decided to do sciences. And so I did pure sciences all through.
Okay, so now how long you done there for inside the political arena for Nigeria?
I registered with APC in 2014.
2014.
Yes, but prior to that, I'd been campaigning for other people. When I was in Edo State, because I schooled in University of Benin, I joined Madame Zoshomale's campaign team. Even there was Ihonvere, who my friend was also campaigning for, and then I worked with them and all of that. So.
Yeah, I actually know so you get Benin blood in you.
You know, I just want to know that, okay, a lot of people are very oblivious of some basic things like requirements, like age. So is it that you have come of age? What is the requirement age-wise when it comes to vying, say person won't do local government chairmanship?
Local government chairmanship is 30.
You have to be 30.
Minimum of 30
but
years
yesterday
of age.
we had a person in the house. Do you think that that is just too old? Why can't it be when you become like an adult from 18 to about 25? Do you think that some laws needs to be changed?
Yes, now it's still there waiting people they come outside talk, say not too young to actually enter any political office. So we are still like clamoring for we need to reduce the age, we need to actually work on that age. Now let's talk about your interest in politics. I want to know waiting push you to talk, say, okay, come, I want to go into local government, especially for that Surulere. Waiting actually push you.
Okay, first things first, I was born and bred in Surulere. And a lot of people complain about the state of the nation. People rant on social media, and I really get tired when I read all those things. Because you're talking and you're not doing anything. And so I decided, what the heck, just get up and do something.
Nice. That's like taking the bull by the horn. No, if nobody wants to bell the cat, why can't I? Exactly. But don't you think that Surulere is a very big local council?
Thank you.
And there are many intricacies to politics that some people will say a woman cannot handle. We're talking about area boyism is there. We have issue of drugs and the youth is there, entrenched in the society. Education, lack of education in some remote areas. We have people that are we have the obas, we have the ballers, we have the kingpins. We have people that believe that they own Surulere. Do you think you have because politics takes a lot of courage.
Thank you.
Do you think you can?
The thing is, if you don't start, you really wouldn't know. Fine, it's good to count your cost before you embark on any battle. But then again, the more you keep counting your cost, the more scary it becomes. Because by the time you look at all the factors, trust me, you won't do anything at the end of the day. So it's better you just, okay, fine, this is what is going to happen, yeah? Or die and I die. So whatever will kill man.
Okay, now I would like to
Let's
ask why you choose to come out for the councillor position in particular. Why, of all the positions with chairmanship, of all the positions we did for there, why you choose that particular position?
Well, basically at the local government level, they're just two electable positions, councillorship and chairmanship. And then everybody keeps saying, why chairmanship, why not councillorship, why didn't you start from the very scratch?
Basic.
I just feel, if you eat frog, you eat the one that has egg now.
Egg inside. Okay, speaking of eating now, because we know say a lot of things they happen for inside the local government region. Yeah. We know say that people for there, they clamor for autonomy. What is your opinion about autonomy? How you feel, say, if you get them, you go feel make some changes in terms of autonomy? Yeah. Are you in support of autonomy?
Well, I am actually, because it actually helps you decide, it helps you run things better and easier. You don't have to wait for somebody to, you don't have to wait for your allocation from the state. You're getting it directly from the federal government. So that means that you're able to plan, you're able to do things, you're able to do your projects faster and easier.
Fantastic. Okay, now what will be the role of, what will be the duty of the chairman for inside the local government, Larry in particular? What will be the major roles? Because I know say now, every local government get their own comma. Yeah. And also you go not see some of the comma for that one way you want comma for.
No, you even see comma at all, first of all. Because
yeah, there's a lot.
Really? What is a lot?
She talked about area boyism, she talked about drugs, she talked about, okay, and there's prostitution. Those are the major reasons I decided I need to do something for this society. This is where I grew up. It never used to be this bad. Not that it was perfect from the beginning, but it just wasn't this bad. I mean, you go to Shita, you see youths that are talented, youths that can contribute positively to the society, wasted.
So how do you plan on making them useful?
Well, let's break it down. Because right now, they actually sell yourself. Okay. Let's break it down with all the challenges where you don't actually identify in these local government. You talked about area boys. Now, how you go take actually eradicate or promote area boys from the Surulere community?
Well, some things cannot be completely eradicated at first. One of the reasons I started Project Renew, which is aimed at renewing the minds of the average Nigerian, starting from the grassroots. In fact, the focus is really the grassroots, because the elites, you have information, you already know what to do. But the people at the grassroots do not even have the information the so-called elites have. And the way things are in this country, there's a divide. There's a major divide between the elites and the guys at the grassroots. So it's an us against them.
Are they ready to be informed, the grassroots guys?
Well, so far we've had 3 editions of the project, and we've recorded a good turnout.
Wow. All right. We're
I think that's a lot of points for you to talk about. Especially the point saying the challenges where you highlight, because we need to know how you intend to actually solve this.
And not just the manifesto speech you will give us. All right.
I'm very, 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 I'm too excited this morning. Because it's high time that we see people that stop to talk the talk and now are ready to get their feet and their hands dirty. It's very easy to say you want to effect change, but you are not ready to put your life down. Then you are not ready for change. We go back small break now. By the time we will come back, it's news time. Yes, so beautiful morning. I will still get. Thank you very much, GUDU Tigbu, for that one where you don't give us on top sports level and the headlines when I don't take. We still get our very beautiful Olawunmi Oyedeji inside the building, and we're talking about governance, we're talking about youth, participation, women. Before we went on that particular long break, I've been one asking, for women, what is the major challenge for us? Because one, we have two-pronged problem. We don't want to come out to participate. We don't want to support the ones that come out. So what is it that we have a major fear, or we are limited?
Or we just like to compete against each other?
Okay. Well, I think women like competing against each other, number one. But aside that, there are a lot of factors to consider. For a young lady, they'll tell you there are a lot of things that
you speak pidgin?
No, wala.
Okay.
As long
just had to ask that.
Okay. As person we're younger, the things where there plenty. People go to look you say, okay, this one, who should they sleep with for the top? And not be everybody fit stand all those kind of drama. For the ones we don't marry, you need permission from your husband. If your husband don't give you permission, you don't get as you want to do. Your pikin there, you go do school runs. By the time you finish all the things where you're supposed to do for house, na politics you want the thing. Except say you get passion for then you go feel manage your time.
Find a way to balance them. Now, okay, I would like to ask very quickly because of time. Now, before you reach this level, as at the time when you be one get the form, how many of una be come out for the form, and how many be men, how many be women?
We be 18 from the beginning.
From the beginning.
And we get 3 women.
Just 3 women?
Just 3 women.
How much be the form? Because maybe the form be too expensive and, encourage women. So how much exactly be the form for the women? The same price for woman and man?
No, not be the same price. But the thing where APC do for us, they say they reduce the price well for women. For men, 555,000 naira.
Me?
555,000.
Half a million. Over half a million.
5,000.
5,000 naira.
I feel like offering a clap offering.
Yeah.
Because when you're talking, for me, I'm looking at, when I look at parties, Nigerians they don't know what thing they need to look for when they look of party. Because if I never knew this, is in APC.
Yeah.
I don't know what obtains in other parties.
Yeah.
But those are the things that you need to look for in the parties.
No, don't forget
How
about
are they taking care of their people? What is the way they support? How do you gain relevance? Those are things. If APC can bring it that low for man and woman.
Yeah. So now we don't actually talk about the fee, and in as much as you reduce for even women,
we still have just 3.
We still get just few women who actually come outside.
Wow. Yeah, and the most interesting part of everything, we say, the other 2 women don't date for the council before.
Okay.
Oh, they just want to upgrade.
Now, no, not people say they want to upgrade. The one was an ES, that's executive secretary, and the other, I've forgotten what her position was, but she's always been there. And so I'm like the only newbie.
All right, I want to go back to, before with the break, we try to break down the things that you want to actually do for Surulere community, so that people will understand, say, come, you get person, we actually get one for heart. Now, you talk about prostitution. How you go get rid of prostitution for that locality?
Okay, because, say, prostitution now, personal thing. The plan be, say, we go get rehabilitation center. We no go only cover prostitution, but any other form of addiction. And, one of the things that I really bring these days is depression. The rate of depression is really increasing these days. Or should I say the awareness? Because I don't think it's a new thing. I think it's just the awareness that is really getting out there these days. And so we need a rehabilitation center. People need people they can trust to talk to. Most people don't trust their family members to share issues with. And in areas of drug addiction, prostitution, and all of that, it's a constant mind renewal process.
Okay, now I understand this rehabilitation center where they talk about is not more, it's not sand, it's not Gary. So. How you want to manage the finance if federal government don't give you allocation?
Well, if federal government don't give us allocation, we can always source for international funding.
International funding. If international funding decide to fall your hand, which other option they?
CSR they now. Corporate social responsibility. We have loads of companies in Surulere. So if everybody drops their little quota, we would have what we need.
Let's talk about the healthcare system in Surulere, because I know some of the major things where people actually need good healthcare, water, access to some basic things. Now, how you go to actually help them?
Okay, for the healthcare now. We have some primary healthcare centers, but we have 9 wards in total in Surulere. And so my vision is to have at least 1 healthcare center in each ward with a standby ambulance, just in case there's a major problem that needs to be transferred to Luz or Grassroot or any other general hospital. And then, what other question did you ask?
It's just healthcare, basically.
Yeah, and then with that, because one thing that kills me is when I go to Luz or Grassroot, for instance, and you see the crowd.
I know.
And I know. Things that can be sorted out at the primary healthcare level. In fact, people die of little things that can actually be taken care of in a short while. But because there's so much, and then you go to these hospitals, okay, my mom had to go to Grassroot, and they were like, something that we thought was a major issue. When she got there, they're like, madam, your case now small thing, I beg, make me focus on people we get. We don't see big things. So this one have been, don't come and disturb us with your own minor issue. But the truth is, these things actually grow. And some things that you can take care of immediately, if you don't take care of them.
I still want to go back to Luchi's question, because we try to go from talk to doing it.
Yeah.
Because now we have good plans. We don't hear of good plans, so we want to get this 9 words. But how you want to achieve them, really? Can CSRO do this?
Yeah, well, I believe, okay, because I can't mention brands.
Yes, I know.
But we have major companies that if we have good partnership with them, they can actually take on one project or the other.
Now, I go like come in at that point, because waiting, you feel, if this idea they talk of course, we'll not say we all get ideas, and not only we get them. If your predecessor we get this idea and it no work, waiting you won't bring in, we go make and work, because this idea they talk, I should say everybody gets them for inside the council. People get the idea.
I'm not sure saying everybody.
Okay, maybe what if what you go do differently where your predecessor don't try? Because you they try work in his part or her part. What you go do differently where go help the Surulere locality become better? Yeah,
one of the things I noticed that they didn't really take advantage of is CSR. Because really, okay, aside from the rehabilitation center and all of that, there's a plan to have a business hub. And I'm thinking, companies spend millions of naira on entertainment. If you give us half of that money to build a business hub,
where's the space? Is Surulere?
We can always have.
Surulere is quite tight.
See, when there's a need, no. When there's a will, there's a way. So once you know that this has to be done, you create space. You find a way around it. That's it.
Should we talk about housing really in Surulere? Because
I know that's a big one for a local I'm just thinking of, like, I'm concerned about education for young children. In Surulere, we see a lot of children moving around and school hours. Those are the things that ache me as a parent. What do you plan to do? Is it to educate the mothers to make sure that their children are put in school? All these children that you see walking on the street that have no business selling, what are the things that you can do? Because Surulere is a heavily populated area. Yeah.
So that is one of the things we try to tackle with Project Renew. Like I said, it's aimed at renewing the minds of the average Nigerian. So with that, we have the seminar covers family, it covers politics, it covers youth empowerment, it covers purpose. We have people that come and motivate you and tell you about your purpose, what you should do with your time, what you should do with your life, and all of that. The last one, we had a psychiatrist. In fact, we had a psychologist and a psychiatrist. A psychotherapist, rather. So we had this psychotherapy session where everybody got to talk about their problems and all of that. And I was quite impressed because they hadn't even seen something like that. And then the good thing is they were able to get answers to their questions. A man came up and talked about something as little as, okay, it's not little, but that was his own major problem. He talked about him having issues paying rent and school fees. And so we were able to help him find a way around it, which was, okay, fine. You know that your rent will be due in XYZ date. So what you need to do is plan your finance. So if you make, say, 2,000 naira in a day, save 1,000 naira. And we're in a society where people believe, God will provide at the end of the day. And so instead of planning properly, they just spend everything. And when the time comes for that need, there's nothing that can be done.
Now we're into politics. I know you want to actually rehabilitate their mind, but due to time. Now we're into politics now. How important is godfatherism? Because we try to promote godfatherism in the political arena, but how important is it?
That's one. It's very important. Very important.
So it cannot come out. We cannot take it out.
For now,
I think that we will need that particular question as something we will get for use for another day. Now, you talked to the primaries when did they come up?
On Friday.
This Friday, 9 primaries will come up for inside Surulere. So what do people need to do for them to actually participate?
No, primaries is in-house.
It's a party.
So is there a way people can know what is going on as it's happening?
As it's happening, well, if the security isn't too tight, you can come to Teslim Balogun Stadium.
Teslim Balogun Stadium.
You'll definitely be tired, but you can
Wow, very interesting day that we don't get. Thank you very much, Olawunmi.
Thank you so much
for coming all the way. These are some of the things that we want to do. We want to see more youth participation. We want to see more women participating. And we will do our very best to bring everybody and give a level playing field to everyone so that you can actually buy into the idea where they get. I'm tired of the power is in the hand of the people.
Yes,
that is what we fail to understand. So let them not sell us a general manifesto. We want something that is passionate, something that is clear-cut, where we can follow ABC. I know this is our destination.
I made her join her on Women's Corner on 95.1.
Yes, so join her on Women's Corner by 2 o'clock on my show on radio. Yes, she will be there with me. So some of the questions we cannot trash now, we'll go fit trash them.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.